So Ibn Abbas, he says, Ya sahib al-dam la ta'man aqibata dhanbika fa inna mimma yattabi'u al-dhanba a'zam min al-dhanbi. He says, oh, the one who's committing a sin, don't rest assured after you commit a sin, because the consequences of that sin that are about to come to you and you're about to face are far worse than the sin itself. There's consequences, right? So the Prophet is coming and he's saying, first of all, he's telling people that are in front of him, Inni ra'aytu al-jaysha bi'aynayya. Those people can hear him. Those who can't hear him, he's saying, Ana nadir al-uryan. He's taking a cloth out and waving it. That's for us, telling us, you know what? Be careful. Be careful next time you just think that it's just a sunnah. Be careful that next time you're praying salah and you miss a sunnah just because it's sunnah, or a gesture of the Prophet. Oh, it's just sunnah. Be careful. That's not a small thing. Then he says, فَأَطَاعُهُ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ فَأَدْلَجُوا. Those who remember this word from last week. Some people, immediately after the Prophet said this, they followed him. You know what's amazing about that? Is these people never saw the army behind the mountain. They just believed his words. They just believed him. And they, right when they heard it, adlaju. Remember the word man khafa adlaja? We did it last week. The one who fears, what does he do? He quickly gets up and leaves. And we said that the quality among the people who are guaranteed Jannah is what? Sabaqiyya. Right away they follow. That's, all of them are different. Some of them were rich, some of them were poor, some of them were known, some of them were unknown. But one quality common among all of them was their sabaqiyya. The moment they heard something, they wanted to act upon it. They wanted to be the first ones in line. So this is what they do. There are some people that hear, boom, that's it. Right when they get home, they're not thinking about eating, drinking. They're not thinking about, hey, let's hear it from 5, 10 other people. Let's see what people are doing. No. He said it. We believe him. Let's prepare immediately after we heard. And they prepare. These people, now let me ask you this question. These people, they actually heard what the Prophet said. Yes, they deserve credit for acting upon what the Prophet said. But those people never heard him. They just saw that cloth. They did not even stop and pause to see if he's going to come to them and hear him. They did not even say, let's go up to him and let's verify. Rather, they said, that's an amazing person, right? He never lies. He loves us. And let's just be careful. Let's be cautious. Those people who saw this cloth being waved, they also believed, just like the ones who heard him. That's why it's significant to mention this. That's why the Prophet, once he asked people, now they're both great, but who's at this point, who deserves more credit, man? Tell me, who deserves more credit? So the ones who heard, or the ones who just saw the cloth and they believed? They saw the cloth, they never heard him. This comes in hadith. The Prophet said, Man afdalu ahli al-imani imana. Tell me, who do you consider to be at the highest? I translate this the way Ibn Hajar translates this. Who deserves the most credit for their iman? Not the ones who have the most iman, but who deserves the most credit, because we already know who has the highest level of iman. So the Sahaba replied, we consider the prophets to be the ones who deserve the most credit. And the Prophet said, why? No, not the prophets, because they speak to Allah directly through angels. It's not the prophets. Who else do you think? Sahaba replied, angels. And the Prophet said, no, not angels. Angels see Allah, they see the ghaib, they have no interest in doing haram. They don't deserve the most credit. The third reply was, Ya Rasulullah, us, the people of the prophets, the companions of the prophets. And the Prophet said, no, not you guys. You guys see me. You guys get to hear me. You guys see me, you see my life. You see the miracles, you see the different battles that we went in. You don't deserve the most credit. It's Ya Rasulullah, who deserves the most credit? And the Prophet's words are very, very descriptive. He says, people that will come from your progenies, يَخْرُجُونَ مِنْ أَصْلَابِكُمْ. People that will come from your progeny, from your generations. They're not even in this world right now. They're going to come later. They have never seen me, but they're willing to give up everything they have in their life to get a glimpse of me. And inshallah, that's us. They're willing to give up everything in the world just to get a glance of me. Anything and everything. لا يود أحدهم لو يراني بأهله وماله ونفسه. They wish to see me, even if that means to give up their family, to give up their money, and to give up their own life. What does giving up their own life mean? Because to get to Jannah. So they were willing to sacrifice their life to see the Prophet. They have never seen me, but they find my life and my teachings in books. So, and they read it, and this is how the Prophet was, and they follow it. That's me and you. So that's why he said these people deserve the most credit for their iman. This is not my words. This is the Prophet's words. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's why, the Prophet looked at Ammar, Ali, and Mu'adh. And these three people were just like, I could just imagine what the Prophet like, saw these three people giving their life for the Prophet, always doing great things. Why? Because of yearning for Jannah. They just want to be in Jannah, but they've never seen Jannah. So you know what he says to these people? He says, Innal Jannata yashtaqu ilaykum. He says, Jannah, yashtaq, is desirous to see you three. Jannah wants to meet you three. Because you have so much desire to see it, Jannah reciprocates and it wants to see you now. That's the rule with great people. They want to be in Jannah. Jannah wants to see you now. You're doing all this without seeing me? You deserve credit for that. You're doing all this for that. The Prophet said, Al-qa'iluna yawma idhin bil-kitab wa sunnah كالسابقين الأولين من المهاجرين والأنصار. The Prophet said, on that day, those people that just speak al-qa'il, he's so beautiful, even his words are so beautiful. He says, just the people al-qa'il. Qala means to hear, to speak and listen. Meaning right now, conversation. Those people who have a conversation about Allah in His Rasul, not even act upon it, a conversation, a discussion. He said the reward for these people will be like the ones who accepted Islam early in Makkah. Min al-Muhajirin al-Ansar. The ones who accepted Islam early Makkah, early Medina. Their reward is much higher than the reward of those who accepted Islam after Fatih Makkah, because they saw already. Does that make sense?